Hey, it's Kim. Welcome back to today's video where I will be setting up for the month of October. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So, jumping right in, I'm doing what I usually do for every month when I do set up. I am taking out all of my pins and everything, and we'll start with the fountain pens I'm going to be using for October. The main one is going to be this Platinum Century in Calico, also known as Stone, I believe. So that's the one I'll be using, along with these others. I don't think I'm going to do a dedicated video for my fountain pens for October, but I'm thinking I might just do a quick reel or something, or a short, and post it here on YouTube. I'll also be using the Sterling Ink October subscription kit, and as you can see, it is beautiful as usual. Every single month I do feel like it's gorgeous, and I do love it. My favorite part of this kit is probably the vellum. I think that is my favorite part so far, but it definitely gives fall vibes, and it's really pretty. So the main pieces of the kit consist of a lot of larger decorative stickers, some smaller florals, some larger florals, some washi strips, some edge stickers. It's really a great assortment of stickers to use throughout my planning routine for the entire course of the month. I never find that I run out of stickers. I usually do have a few left over, and I'll tend to use those in my journaling, since I do like to decorate my journal pages. Getting started, I'm going to take my planner out of the cover just so that I can get like a better surface to write on, a flatter surface, since we're nearing the end of the month. There's that dreaded hump in the Hobonichi. I don't have a ton of stuff going on for the month of October. So my little sticky note where I like to put down appointment dates and notes about things that are happening is pretty empty for the month, which is fine by me. I'll get started by adding my deco to the calendar page. So I like to put the title of the month up in the top left hand corner, and then some, like a washi strip, down at the bottom corner. And in this case, the bottom right side of the calendar layout. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Here's my October swatch page where I like to put down some washis and some Tombow markers that I think really vibe with the kit for the current month. So I can kind of plot out what colors I'm going to be using, what color schemes work best, along with the stickers. I didn't quite finish setting this one up before I sat down to do October. I normally set this up as soon as I receive the subscription kit in the mail, which is like early September. So I got this early September. It might have even been like September 1st. So I did this just about as soon as I received the kit, and hadn't had a chance to pull out a lot of washis. I had some ideas in my mind, but I didn't put them down on this spread as of yet. So that's what you see me doing here. And it's definitely giving me some ideas of what to use for my spreads. For the monthly, I generally like to use the month header, of course. So the sticker that says October, and then about 2 coordinating washi tapes that I'll layer on top of each other. And then I'll use the larger washi sticker that comes in the kit along the bottom. So I'm following that same exact formula and setting up for this month. For this monthly, I decided to use this floral. It's not quite floral. It kind of looks like maybe pampas grass or something, that kind of washi. But I do know it's from Paper Minty Studio. So I'm using that one along with a diagonal line washi. And that one is from Amanda Rach Doodles. I believe that's what it's called. So those are the two I'm going to layer for this month. They bring in the browns and the greens from the sticker kit. And I'm thinking the Tombow that I'll use for my monthly spread will likely be Tombow 992, which is a nice beige color, kind of like a darker beige color. So I'll use that for noting any appointments or highlighting anything that comes up throughout the month. So my monthly is pretty much done. So that was easy. That was easy peasy. I find that now that I have sort of like a formula for how I like to have my months laid out, it's easy enough for me to kind of pick the components that are going to go on the page, stick them down, fill in my dates, and then move on. So next up, I'll be starting all of my weeklies. I have long since been committed to a specific weekly layout, so I'm just going to continue that and set up all 4 weeks for the month of October. This is helpful for when appointments come up, like maybe 1 to 2 weeks out. I can go ahead and write them right in my planner. I don't have to put them on like another piece of paper and only wait until I get to that week. Also, it's helpful like maybe on a Sunday evening, maybe I just don't feel like setting up for the next week that night. It's already done for me and I can jump in on Monday morning and get started. As long as I have an idea of what Tombow markers I want to use and what washi tapes I want to use, setting up the weeklies is pretty easy. All I have to do is kind of pick a combination of a couple of markers and some washi tapes and choose which stickers I would like to highlight for that week, and I can get started. So I do love putting together that swatch page that corresponds with the monthly sticker kit, because that takes all of the guesswork out of it. It's kind of like I've done the legwork already and I can just jump right in and start decorating and setting up the weeks, and everything looks nice and cohesive. After the weeklies, the next section to set up are my monthly collection pages. Using the horizontal and vertical number stickers from Randy.Plans makes this really easy. I don't have to write in all of the numbers as I was doing before, and they fit the boxes of the Hobonichi cousin perfectly. And for this spread, I pretty much have a formula as well. I'll pick 2 washi tapes that I like to put along the bottom, and I usually use the largest scene sticker that comes in the set over on the bottom right. In this case, it was a little too long, so I was okay with just trimming off a bit of the excess at the bottom, because I wanted to make sure I had enough lines to go from 1 to 31 for the entire month, so that I can write down my 1 line a day for October. My habit tracker and my 1 line a day, they're pretty much integral parts of my planning routine, and I don't see those going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm definitely always going to be setting those up each and every month. With that said, I also can't think of anything else I would want to add to my monthly collection pages. I'm always thinking about what can I include, what can I upgrade, what can I change, and as of yet, I haven't thought of anything that I'd like to kind of commit to on that level to do every single month. So we're very comfortable where we are right now. I'm back. October is all ready for its close-up, and we did have a bit of a change of scenery because, you know, life got in the way. So after I set up the monthly, then I moved on to do the weeklies, and still the monthly is completely blank, which I quite like. I actually like starting the month on a clean slate without a lot of appointments. Yeah, there's like nothing concrete yet that I can actually write down on my monthly, but as the month goes on, I will of course add in any appointment dates that crop up. Another thing that I do need to do, which I do for every single month, is to actually split the last box. So this is split between Saturday and Sunday. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And as the month goes on, I'll put reminders of anything I need to have in here. I'll also transfer some of those page flags that I have to wherever they might need to go on the monthly layout. But overall, this is where we're starting. I also do add in like little notes or things that I will write in that transpire throughout the course of the month. So that's pretty much the monthly layout for October. And then moving into the weeklies, I set up 4 weeklies, and that's weeks 40 through 43. And just set up my basic framework, as I tend to call it. And I have the section in the middle for my timetable, up top for my priorities, right above here. And then this line is for my workouts for the day. This line is for the dinners that we'll have each day. I like to record it to make sure we're not repeating anything too frequently. And then I have space for my list down at the bottom. These could be the weekly tasks I want to do. It could be a list of things coming up for the following week. Could be a list of cleaning areas that I want to make sure I hit throughout the course of the week. So that's how I have all 4 weeks laid out. And then there's just varying washi and deco stickers laid throughout as well. And each week I've chosen a set of Tombow markers that I think correspond well with the October subscription kit. And I'll just switch it up every week as the month progresses. This last week I really like. It's actually focused more on the grays that are in the kit. So I really do appreciate this week's layout. So after the weeklies, I did go ahead and also set up the overview for the month. Not the overview. I call this my collection pages. So these are all my collection pages for the month of October, and I usually will put a tab up at the top. So I'm actually going to take a minute and do that right now so that I can easily flip to it no matter where I am in the book. And I'm just going to score it right there, line it up with the other tabs that I have going on at the top of my book. And it's never perfect, but I try to get it as straight and as lined up as possible, or as possible as I'm gonna get it today. So here's my collection pages for October, and this consists of my tracker on the left hand side. I did switch a few things up in the categories on the tracker, but not too many. And then I have on the right hand side this section for my 1 line a day, where I like to capture highlights, sometimes even lowlights, just one memory from each day. And this is something I've been doing consistently, and I really do like to do it. So next is where normally my 2-page spread for goals and reflection would be. But since I use this blank October page to put down the swatches and the washi that I plan to use for the month, I decided to skip this page. So I'll use this maybe for a brain dump or for whatever needs come up throughout the month, when I'm sure I'll need a notes page somewhere in here. So I did flip to the next spread to do the goals and the reflections. So the goals are things that I want to focus on for the month of October. So things that I want to make sure that I get done or check into, follow up with. And that typically would fill in after September is over. So then I transfer anything I didn't get done in September over to October, or new things might come up. And then the reflection page really houses my inbox of sticky notes if I have one for the month, and it gets filled in at the end of the month. So I do a review of how the month went, what I was proud of for the month, or any kind of like a focus on self-care that I really focused on for the month. So I'll go in after October is over, write myself 4 specific questions, and then over here answer them in the reflection section. And then October 1st would start right here on this page. So there you have it. I'm pretty much set and ready to go for the month of October. Another thing I wanted to know, I feel like I mentioned this back in September. No, August. It was August that I mentioned this. How I wanted to switch up my dailies. I wanted to switch up how they're laid out. I've been doing this kind of layout for a very, very long time with a little bit of a margin. And then I have my task list as well as some micro journaling intertwined. And I'll use the margin either to make notes to myself or to add extra deco. And I've been wanting to switch it up for a while, and I just couldn't figure out quite how. This is another example of how I use my typical daily layout. So what I did do, I've been testing out, and I'll get to it, something like this. So I'll go into more detail maybe one day somewhere on Instagram or here or wherever. But what I switched to is sort of like a 2-column layout, and I reserve one side for notes and then one side for to-do lists. And I'll switch it up or flip it back and forth throughout the day. I'm really not sure like what format I like the most. And then here on this side, I actually kept the to-do list over on the left and the journaling over on the right, and also just some random notes. What I've noticed about this kind of a layout, and I did have a sample page here where I sampled, I think it was like, it wasn't August 7th, but it was some other page, and then I kind of just transcribed everything that I had on that daily over onto this page, and it showed me that this actually takes up a lot less space. So I was able to fit all the things that I had on that one daily page up here in this section, and then I just started on to the next daily page, putting the information down here. So this helps to condense my daily pages or my daily layouts if ever I needed to. If I was running out of pages, maybe in the notes back here for my dailies, I could do some kind of layout like this, and it kind of condenses everything because it puts the to-do list and the notes side to side as opposed to vertically. And I don't have that space of the margin that sometimes remains empty. So I am liking it so far. And this is a slightly better view. This is actually today where, and I don't know if you can tell, but I did the border a little bit darker than I did it here, the drawn in border. So I'm just testing it out to see which one I like the best, and we'll see. I guess by the end of September, I'll see which one I like the best, and I'll be doing that for October so that I can give it a full try, commit to it fully to see how I like it and if it works for me. But I'll be starting October 1st right here, and then going on with my dailies and any kind of notes that come up throughout the course of the month. So that wraps up my October plan with me. I thank you so much for watching and following along on today's video. And if you are not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, click the like button if you found this video helpful. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.